I'd like to tell you about a girl that I met here in Cairns, Australia. It all started when I was in Sydney, actually. I had been in Sydney, Australia for about 2 months. And one day I had the intuition to go to the grocery store. And as I was at the grocery store, a huge wave of thought came rushing over me. And essentially it was the insight or the intuition for me to go to Cairns, Australia. My first thought was, I don't know if should I go? It's so far away. Maybe this is the right place for me to stay, blah, blah, blah. And then I had an intuition to go on my phone and search up a picture of Cairns, Australia. And so I did. And I searched up a picture, an aerial view, and I could see the mountains. And the first thought that I had, the imprint that this energy gave off onto me, was that this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful here. So I thought, okay, right then and there, I sat down that very moment, and I purchased a plane ticket for the 12th of July. And I arrived here in Cairns. Later that month, later in July, I saw a woman in this hostel that I'm staying in here. And, normally when I see attractive women or gorgeous women, what I mean by gorgeous is they have the physical health markers. They display health. And usually when I see beautiful girls like that, I just see them as a body. And, naturally my body is drawn to that because I'm a human creature. But intuitively inside, I understand this is not the right woman for me. Or this is not the right thing for me. So no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how attractive she is, no matter how many positive physical qualities she has, or how healthy she looks, I just instinctively understand it wouldn't be anything good for me to go out and pursue this and talk to her and go through that. Whereas one day when I was staying in this hostel, I saw this girl. And the first moment that I saw her, instinctually I understood she's so beautiful. But not only that, for the first time in my life, actually, something inside of me told me that this is like who you are. This is what you are. And so it was almost like I was being pointed to her, and whatever was pointing to her was saying, this is clearly what you are. This is what you're made out of. This is what you are. And this would be healthy for you. And right then and there, I saw her heart. I saw her anahata, her heart chakra. And it was so pure. It was pure green. There was nothing holding her back. There was nothing stopping her light from shining. And I thought to myself, wow. But there was something about her that was very intimidating. I couldn't approach her. I couldn't talk to her. So I thought to myself, I need an appropriate time for us to see how we can get together, how we can talk. And many days had passed, and I would see her in the hostel, and I would just be hurting inside, because as a man, maybe you know that when you see a beautiful woman like that, sometimes she's so beautiful that it's just painful. You can't do anything about it. So you better not look. She's like that. So maybe a week had gone past, and one day I had the intuition to go buy some cologne or some natural cologne to smell good. And so I found a point on the map in Cairns where they sell essential oils, and I was going to buy essential oils. And in the hostel that I'm staying at, there's a bus that takes us from our location, which is 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers away from the city center, and it drives us for free to the city center every day, every 30 minutes. And so I intended to take that bus. And so I sat down and started waiting for that bus. It was going to come in 5 minutes. And at the same time, she walks through and she walks onto the bus. And the first time that I saw her, I don't know what it was about me, but I almost fainted. I almost passed out. Just the sheer pressure, the sheer intimidation of her in that situation. My heart started pounding so fast. And I literally thought that, oh my God, I can actually pass out here. If this continues on, I'm actually gonna, faint on the floor. And this would not be good. So I just contained myself, I composed myself, and I relaxed. And something funny happened is that after I nearly passed out, I didn't. And it was time for me to get on the bus. As I'm walking towards the bus and she's making eye contact with me, and she takes the doors to the van and she just slides it right in my face. She closes it. And I kind of, it's like, okay. I think that's because I didn't give her any attention at all in the hostel whatsoever. I couldn't engage with her there. And so maybe it would have been wise for me to talk to her or to chat, to get some but I couldn't do that. I can't do that. So I just, turned my eyes away and I always just kept going. Maybe that irritated her because women like attention. So she slammed the door in my face. I opened it again and I was just laughing to myself. And I sat down quietly and we rode to the city center. As we approached the city center, the bus stopped. I opened the door. I went out. I went on my phone to search for the instructions, where to go. And I started walking her and totally forgot about her. Maybe 5 minutes had passed since I started walking towards my destination, and I could see her approaching from the other side of the street. So she's walking towards me, and I'm walking towards my store. And she's wearing headphones, and as she gets closer to me, she starts taking off her headphones nervously. And I could sense this is my time. This is the appropriate time for me to engage with her. And so I did. I came up to her, I started talking to her, and her eyes were very fierce and intense. But behind her eyes, she was very gentle and soft. And she started telling me various things about her life, which I'm not going to get into here. And then she gave me her phone number and she said, come to the thing that something she's doing. And I said, okay. Some time had passed after this. I had talked to her since then a few times, or once or twice. I tried asking her out to go for a drink or a smoothie. And all the while, I remembered a dream that I had just before I came to Cairns, or actually while I was in Cairns. Something happened to me, very visual, vivid dream, an experiential dream. And I had a dream about someone that I was with in a car, ironically. And then when I met this girl, I saw that this is the girl. This is who I was dreaming about, which is very synchronistic. And then later I had other dreams where she was, where I could perceive her in a certain reality. So talking about this girl, she is maybe the most spiritually advanced human being that I have interacted with, I've talked to. I've met very powerful individuals in this lifetime. I've seen the most powerful individual alive that I could possibly see, maybe, which is Sadhguru. But I'm not friends with him. So I'm friends with this girl. She's extremely psychically or spiritually gifted, and she has gone through a lot. She has done a lot of good for herself, you can say it like that. And so naturally, I'm attracted to her for that reason, in that way. And so we've known each other for maybe 3-4 weeks or something like that. And we haven't talked much. We talked for a total of 1.5 hours. And I meditated a lot. And one day I realized she should drive me to Darwin because she has a car. And it would be good. And also she should marry me because it would be beneficial for me in terms of certain ways, because she has if I were to marry her, I would get permanent residence here in Australia, which I desperately want. So that's exactly what I plan to do. On the day of my liberation, which was July 20th, 2023, at nighttime I decided, okay, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. I'm going to ask her to come for a walk with me, and I'm going to ask her to marry me, and I'm going to ask her to drive me to Darwin. Let's see what happens. And so I did ask her, and she totally freaked out. She looked like she was about to faint. I don't know what, something triggered her about me asking her or something. I don't know, she got scared and she walked away, and she said some kind of comments, and I totally pulled back. I realized, okay, this is either not appropriate or whatever needed to happen happened, and I said what I needed to say. I said the truth. I said exactly what I wanted, but it didn't turn out positive for her. And as she was walking back to her hostel, I just simply turned away and walked outside. So it's done. And I have no communication with her now at all. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I no longer want to live in the real world, in the physical world. I want to live exclusively in my mind, in my inner mind's eye. What that means is I am no longer dependent on the way things are, the situations that are currently present, the reality. There is no reality, technically. There is only my reality. There's only what I am inside of myself. And whatever I'm inside of myself, however I dictate reality, that's what's ultimately going to happen. That's the way that I want to live life. That's the way that I am living life. So you can think back to the teachings of Jesus Christ and what is said in the Bible. Jesus says, if you look at a mountain, you say to the mountain, move, the mountain will move. When you are internally so strong within yourself, and you can convince yourself that you can move matter if it is to your betterment as a human being, or for the betterment of mankind, you can move a mountain, or you can split the ocean, or you can do various other things. So ultimately, I know what the purpose of men and women getting together is. It's to make children. And if this woman were to get into my life or be in my life, I would have no other intention than to make children with her. And from what I see from her qualities, she is the best person that I have come across so far that would be would be the best mother. And also, it would be very good if she were to accompany me, because I'm a certain way, I'm on a spiritual path, I'm here to do various things on the earth, and it would be wise for me to have a female counterpart that is also in a similar nature, that is spiritual just as I am. Because most of the women that I meet, I would say 99% of the women that I meet, maybe 99.99% of the women that I meet, are dumb, are stupid. They're very easy, or soft, or weak. Very weak. That's it. It's like I see these girls, and they're like a napkin. You know, you just toss into the wind and poof, they go. I don't like that. I don't respect that. That's so easy. It's like, why would I do that? Why would I burden my life by carrying her around? You know, I want a woman that stands on her own 2 feet, that can stand along with me, and we can walk and enjoy life together. We can walk through life together. So I don't want a weak woman. I want a strong-willed woman. And I guess this is the last thing that I should say here, is that this relates to my mother, because my mother is very strong-willed. After being here and thinking back to how my mom is and how it was like to live with her, she is intensely fierce. You know, we have certain qualities and characteristics that we build in previous lifetimes, and then we choose different things in this lifetime to help us to grow and evolve towards our human growth and liberation, ultimate liberation. So she's a certain way. She was like very fierce person, and now she has chosen a totally different circumstance for herself. The way that she acts, the way that she looks, her everything. I don't want to give too much. But she's incredibly powerful, incredibly strong. For sure, the most fierce and strong woman that I've ever come across in my life. No one even comes close. Which was very challenging for me to live with her. Because normally when you think of a mother, mother is very gentle, very soft, very kind and caring. And she is like that, she was like that. But more so, she was very fierce and intense, and you didn't want to, you wanted to be on her good side. You didn't want to be on her bad side. Alright, that's it. Stay tuned for the next video, which I'll post tomorrow.